Even though it's a similar technology, eVTOL are pretty much electric helicopters. Yeah. We're trying to build a car which can vertically take.
A brand new Japanese invention, priced at just $2,500, is being called the most unusual transport vehicle ever built. And some say it could change the industry forever, not because it is the fastest or most luxurious, but because it rewrites the very language of motion, appearing not as a car or a bike, but as a giant crystal bubble that glides across the pavement like a dream. A flawless, transparent sphere that makes passengers feel as though they are floating inside a rolling diamond, watching the world tilt and spin around them with zero effort, every corner navigated as if gravity itself were bending to their will. It sounds like fantasy, but it is real, and it is just the beginning of the incredible machines we're going to explore today. Because transportation in 2025 has reached a breaking point where imagination is no longer confined to sketches of CGI but has fused with engineering to give us machines that fly, roll, hover, and transform in ways that challenge everything you thought was possible. And to prove it, we begin with number 9, the Richter Sky Rider X1, a hybrid of scooter and aircraft that stunned the audience at CES 2025 in Las Vegas, where a matte black electric scooter rolled quietly into the spotlight, then unfolded 4 carbon fiber arms with mechanical precision, revealing 8 stacked propellers that roared to life and lifted the machine into the air without wires, cranes, or illusions, leaving the crowd frozen in disbelief as it hovered gracefully above the show floor like a sci-fi dragonfly made real. Compact enough to pass as an ordinary e-moped when folded, yet powerful enough to climb to 656 feet and cruise at 62 miles per hour. This marvel boasts a flight range of up to 40 minutes, a land range of more than 112 miles, and a ballistic parachute for emergencies, all weighing just 176 pounds but capable of carrying 264, making it an answer to gridlock where 2 hours of queuing traffic shrink into a 15-minute aerial glide. And with pre-orders priced between $50,000 and $60,000 selling out in just 48 hours, the Skyrider has already proven the hunger for airborne commuting. But as astonishing as that sounds, it pales beside number 8, the PLV Liberty, a Dutch-designed gyroplane that straddles the line between sports car and aircraft, a 3-wheeled coupe with gull-wing doors and sculpted carbon panels that, in under 5 minutes, unfolds a 35-foot rotor, extends a tail boom, and transforms into a full-fledged flying machine, cruising at 110 miles per hour in the air with a range of 310 miles, yet also legally driving at 100 miles per hour on highways for an astonishing 820 miles per tank of regular fuel, all thanks to twin Rotax engines dedicated separately to road and air. Unlike helicopters, its rotor spins in autorotation, meaning even in full engine failure the Liberty can glide safely to Earth, and on the road it tilts into curves like a motorcycle thanks to Carver 1-inspired dynamics, giving drivers the thrill of sports handling on land and the freedom of aviation above. A hybrid so convincing it has earned European certification and hundreds of pre-orders despite costing between $316,000 and $527,000, proving that the age of flying cars is not just theoretical, but unfolding one model at a time. Yet if the Liberty is a symbol of official certification, the next entry is one of rebellion. Number 7. The Volonaut airbike from Poland, which appeared not on a showroom floor but in a viral YouTube clip showing a sleek black frame streaking across a valley, hovering on invisible thrust before darting forward like a racing drone scaled for humans. And the world quickly learned this was no CGI but a rotor-free flying motorcycle powered by compact jet turbines hidden inside a razor-thin 3D printed carbon frame that is 7 times lighter than a normal street bike, weighing under 90 pounds yet boasting a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than many drones. Capable of carrying a rider at 124 miles per hour for 20 minutes of pure airborne freedom, no wings, no exposed blades, just the sensation of straddling speed itself with a 360-degree view of the horizon. Its flight computer adjusting thrust in millisecond to stabilize every lean and tilt, creating a ride that is agile enough for urban mobility yet strong enough for search and rescue. An invention still without price or release date, but already attracting investors, thrill seekers, and emergency services alike. And if that wasn't enough, We roll to number 6, Toyota's drivable Sphere, revealed in April 2025 in Japan as what many first mistook for an art installation. A giant 6.5-foot translucent orb gliding like a living sculpture, carrying 2 passengers inside seats that rotated naturally with the spin, creating the illusion of floating in a crystal bubble while electric hub motors concealed in the rim allowed the Sphere to roll smoothly in any direction, sideways, forward, or diagonal, without ever needing to steer conventionally. A concept that began as a coffee mug-sized model before scaling into a full transport prototype, its transparent polycarbonate shell treated to be as strong as bulletproof glass, its gyroscopic balance systems preventing rollover even during sharp turns, and its entry-level production model priced at just $2,500, shocking the industry by proving that futuristic design need not demand futuristic costs, and challenging the very idea of what a car should look like. Yet the timeline of futuristic vehicles doesn't stop there, because number 5 takes us back into the sky with the Aero X Hoverquad, a hybrid between ATV and drone unveiled in late 2025, featuring a rugged frame with 4 large ducted fans instead of wheels, able to roar down dirt paths like an off-road quad but then lift vertically into the air with payload capacity for 2 riders and gear, topping speeds of 70 miles per hour on land and nearly 100 in the air. Designed for farmers, adventurers, and rescue teams needing to leap over terrain where no road exists. Its modular battery packs enabling up to 85 minutes of combined land-air use, and safety systems including obstacle detection radar that allows it to weave between trees and buildings autonomously if required. Then at number 4 we encounter Hyundai's Mobius concept, revealed at the Seoul Motor Show. A sideways driving electric pod built on an omnidirectional wheel system, where each wheel can spin independently, letting the car slide laterally into parking spots, rotate on its axis like a spinning top, and even crab walk diagonally through tight alleys, all controlled by AI-assisted steering that predicts pedestrian movement, a vehicle designed less for speed and more for precision in dense megacities, with interiors more like living rooms than cabins, boasting adaptive glass that turns opaque for privacy. And though still in prototype stage, it demonstrates how rethinking wheel geometry can redefine urban mobility. Number 3 belongs to Tesla's rumored Skypod, a dual-mode personal transport pod designed to dock with Hyperloop tunnels for ground speeds over 600 miles per hour. Members of Toyota's engineering society, after scaling their tabletop model to full size, turned to Shinsha, the Japanese firm world famous for crafting the massive acrylic walls that hold tiger sharks in aquariums, to fabricate the flawless transparent dome for the drivable Sphere, heating and bending the acrylic panels into a luminous globe with seams so subtle they vanish to the human eye, producing a 400-pound orb light enough to be pushed by 2 people, yet sturdy enough to withstand the rigors of daily urban travel. Within this crystal orb, a minimalist aluminum skeleton cradled a 2-seat capsule near the base, gravity itself holding passengers securely without the need for bulky seat belts, while hidden hub motors pressed against the interior shell to spool the entire Sphere forward, turning gentle rolling motion into deliberate propulsion. And though early tests barely managed a few feet of rolling distance, firmware upgrades quickly boosted performance to nearly 10 miles per hour, complete with a true zero-turn radius that allowed the Sphere to pirouette gracefully between alleyways and tight corners of the city, a maneuverability no box-shaped car could ever match. And future versions promise to swap clear acrylic for smart glass that can tint against sunlight, project speed and navigation data across the dome itself, and even transform into an augmented reality display for passengers. A vision so radical that Toyota has chosen not to sell it at dealerships, but instead debut it exclusively inside Woven City, the company's purpose-built experimental metropolis at the foot of Mount Fuji, where every street, light, and traffic system is engineered to test tomorrow's technologies in real time, ensuring the drivable Sphere lives first in a controlled futuristic ecosystem before spilling into the mainstream. And if rolling through the streets in a crystal bubble feels like stepping into science fiction, then number 5 takes us even further back to one of the earliest dreams of human flight, the Martin Jetpack. First shown in 2008 at the Oshkosh Air Show as a bulky yet awe-inspiring contraption of carbon fiber and aluminum that seemed ripped straight from a retro pulp comic, powered not by rockets but by a compact 2-liter V4 gasoline engine driving a pair of ducted fans that blasted Kool-Aid downward with nearly 200 horsepower, lifting both pilot and machine into the sky. And over the next decade, engineers refined it again and again, creating more than 30 prototypes with gradually improved thrust, balance, and safety, until by the mid-2010s the jetpack could reach 46 miles per hour, climb to 8,000 feet, and sustain half-hour flights with a ballistic parachute ready to deploy in under half a second, convincing not just sci-fi dreamers but also serious clients. The Dubai Civil Defense ordered 20 units to whisk firefighters up skyscraper walls faster than ladders ever could, while military agencies eyed it for inserting troops into terrain where helicopters dared not go. Yet despite the promise, costs spiraled. Chinese investors poured in millions. And by 2023, Martin Aircraft collapsed, selling prototypes for six-figure sums while patents and designs quietly disappeared into the hands of anonymous buyers. But now with new FAA rules around powered lift aircraft and advances in hybrid turbine electric propulsion, analysts whisper of a Martin jetpack rebirth, a chance for humanity to strap on a machine and rise. 30 stories in 30 seconds, no longer as a novelty but as a life-saving tool. And if jetpacks make you feel like a superhero, number 4 makes you feel like a VIP passenger of the future. The SkyDrive SD-05, Japan's first production-ready flying taxi that stunned onlookers at Osaka's brand-new vertiport in April 2025 when a sleek white aircraft with 12 whisper-quiet electric rotors rose vertically, hovered at 16 feet in absolute silence, and held position with the calm precision of a Dragonfly, designed for 3 seats, a pilot and 2 passengers, with a futuristic wraparound cabin sculpted for panoramic views, modular battery packs that can be swapped in seconds like pit-stop tires, and a realistic performance of 62 miles per hour cruising speed for 9 to 25 miles per trip, perfectly suited for diamond-shaped city routes between hubs like Umeda, Tennoji, and Osaka Bayfront. With certification already underway and full passenger service expected this very year, backed by Suzuki's manufacturing muscle to scale production at speed, transforming short-haul commutes into seamless airborne hubs that save time, cut emissions, and rewrite the rhythm of city life. And then comes number 3, the pivotal Helix, unveiled in Palo Alto at sunrise on May 4, 2025, where a sleek black aircraft lifted gently from the ground, tilted forward, and glided away so quietly it seemed unreal. The world's first truly accessible personal electric aircraft priced not in the hundreds of thousands but at just $19,000, falling neatly under the FAA's Part 103 ultralight category, requiring no license to fly, weighing 254 pounds to the ounce, the maximum allowed, and carrying a pilot of up to 220 pounds in a carbon fiber frame fitted with flotation pontoons for safety. Powered by an 8 kilowatt-hour battery that delivers 20-plus miles of range at a cruising speed of 63 miles per hour, with fixed wings that generate lift at higher speeds to extend endurance, and a triple redundant flight computer that monitors everything from thrust to battery health, capable of automatically landing in emergencies, while a ballistic parachute stands ready as last resort, giving everyday people the chance to step into the role of pilot with controls so intuitive they feel more like flying a drone than commanding a plane, a machine not just of accessibility but of possibility, promising a world where flight belongs to everyone, not just the elite. Buyers who dare to step into this new era of aviation don't simply walk away with a key and a helmet. Instead, they embark on a carefully curated initiation program that blends immersive virtual reality simulations with supervised flights under the eyes of seasoned instructors, a process that lasts 3 days and ensures even first-timers can safely and confidently operate a machine once reserved for the pages of science fiction. This training experience itself feels like a rite of passage, beginning in a VR dome where pilots in training first learn to balance throttle, yaw, and tilt inside a completely safe digital environment, before progressing to tethered trial flights where every motion of the joystick translates into gentle hovering movements that help the brain slowly adapt to the sensation of personal flight. Only after these phases are complete do the graduates receive their personalized helmet, lightweight flight suit, and a ceremonial key to their very own Helix, a ritual that makes the ownership experience feel more like joining an elite guild of pioneers than simply buying a product. Already, this aircraft has been tested by firefighters in San Bernardino for emergency rescues, where its small footprint and ability to land in alleys or on rooftops make it invaluable for situations where helicopters are too large or too late, proving that this technology is not confined to thrill seekers or wealthy hobbyists, but instead has real potential to redefine the logistics of emergency response, disaster relief, and even everyday commutes. And at a price point below $20,000, less than many motorcycles or luxury e-bikes, the Helix stands as a jaw-dropping signal that the future of personal flight is no longer a distant dream, but rather a practical, shockingly affordable tool ready to become mainstream. But just when you think personal multicopters are the pinnacle, another chapter of innovation unfolds, and it does so with the grace of science fiction transforming into lived reality. On June 6, 2025, a crowd gathered in San Mateo to witness a machine that looked like it had rolled straight off the set of a futuristic blockbuster. The Aleph Model A, a street-legal electric car that, at the push of a button, transforms into a flying machine unlike anything humanity has ever seen. Unlike earlier attempts at flying cars that clumsily bolted wings or rotors onto automobile frames, the Model A reimagines mobility from the ground up, designed not to add flight to a car, but to unify both worlds into a seamless, dual-purpose vehicle. On city streets, it moves like a neighborhood EV, quiet and compact, adhering to regulations with a modest top speed of 25 miles per hour. Yet hidden within its futuristic mesh frame lie 8 carbon fiber propellers, powered by silent electric motors, waiting to awaken. When activated, the transformation is mesmerizing. The wheels retract, the body pivots 90 degrees, and the entire structure becomes a flying wing, slicing through the sky with aerodynamic elegance. Capable of cruising at 110 miles per hour for a flight range of 110 miles on a single charge, and nearly doubling that on the road, the Aleph Model A is as practical as it is revolutionary, carrying 2 adults plus luggage at a total weight of just 850 pounds. Reservations opened quietly in 2023, and by mid-2025, over 3,400 customers had secured their place in line, representing more than $1 billion in future sales, a staggering indicator of how desperately people are ready to embrace the idea of flying above gridlock traffic. Deliveries are projected before the end of 2025, pending final FAA approval, while whispers of a 4-seat Model Z with 300-mile range have already sparked debates about whether Aleph will not just sell cars, but trigger a complete redefinition of what automobiles even mean. And as astonishing as this sounds, the ride doesn't stop there. For the finale feels like stepping into pure, unfiltered science fiction. On a breezy spring afternoon at the World Expo in Osaka, 2025, a crowd gathered around a reflecting pool as a strange, spider-like craft stood silently on its legs before slowly rising into the sky. This was Hexa, a 1-seat electric multicopter developed by Austin-based Lift Aircraft, and in that moment it became clear that humanity's relationship with personal flight had shifted forever. Unlike a helicopter, it doesn't rely on a single fragile rotor, nor does it mimic a drone's simplicity with just 4 propellers. Instead, it wields 18 independent rotors, each powered by its own motor, granting redundancy so robust that even multiple motor failures would not jeopardize the craft's ability to stay airborne. The ultralight carbon fiber frame, flotation pontoons, and integrated parachute keep it within FAA's Part 103 rules, eliminating the need for a pilot's license and making the Hexa more accessible than any aircraft before it. Its specs alone, a flight time of about 15 minutes, cruising speeds around 63 miles per hour, and a maximum altitude of 1,200 feet, don't tell the whole story, because what truly sets Hexa apart is its accessibility and the elegance of its flight systems. Pilots learn using virtual reality simulators before stepping into the real cockpit, and when they finally do, the controls feel so intuitive that almost every first-time flyer describes it as playing a flight simulator, only real. A triple redundant onboard computer continuously monitors stability, battery health, and safety systems, allowing users to focus on the joy of flying while knowing that fail-safes are always in place. But perhaps the most revolutionary detail is not ownership, because Lyft doesn't sell Hexa to individuals, but its model of accessibility. Instead, it offers flight experiences, like amusement rides of the future, where anyone can book a session for around $250. In Florida, these flights are already popular, while in Osaka, the expo itself doubled as a live demonstration and a booking hub where guests reserve Skyline flights directly from the event's futuristic smart mobility vertiport. With AI-guided systems that even help visually impaired passengers navigate to launch pads, Hexa is not simply a machine but an inclusive vision of what aerial mobility can become. And with new powered lift regulations rolling into effect across the world, analysts predict that thousands of Hexa multicopters may soon dot recreational flight parks and urban corridors alike, redefining travel as an activity once bound to earthbound roads but now liberated by the skies. And so, as we close this journey through 9 extraordinary machines, from acrylic rolling spheres to personal jetpacks, from flying cars to AI-assisted multicopters, one undeniable truth remains. The future of transportation is no longer something we wait for. It's something we are living in right now.